As the death of Snailnose took place, Pigeonstorm would be hanging out with a few clanmates and her children. The clan's border patrol had brought back what little fish they could catch. As an elder, Cootflower told a joke from the old days everyone would laugh at and find it funny. Weasel Splash would look concerned, face suddenly looking not so great. For someone not knowing what choking was, Weasel Splash suddenly had fear grip him. Pigeonstorm sprang up to help him. Some way, somehow. She'd never experienced something like this before. Weasel Splash! Everyone tried saving the man. Nothing worked, and his face was a deep blue. Pigeonstorm cried for help from anywhere. Someone had to know how to save her son. Cypress Fur ran to get the healer. It was too late. Weasel Splash was gone. I have just 4 kids left, the healer sobbed, leaning on Sparrow Star. I've not had a message from StarClan about any of them. Why? Why can't they allow me to make a replacement? The elderly leader would hug him. He was, without a doubt, in her head, her other half. She turned another cheek when the illegitimate kits had begun to appear around camp. When Sparrow Star questioned him, it all came down to giving her, his one true love, more power. After her first and second litter with him were taken away by StarClan, she knew then what was going on. She knew why all of this was happening. It wasn't the right time to bring it up, though. Instead, it was the right time to spend time with the healer and grieve with him. The sadness of loss still hung within the clan camp, though there was some things to be happy about. Duststripe had worked hard to get food for the clan. She had saved those on the brink of starvation. Sitting in the clan's gathering area, she'd see Sparrow Star leave with the healer hand in hand. It was against code for the healer to be with anyone. This got the female warrior curious. You see it too? The male voice caused Duststripe to yelp and whirl to see the golden male warrior, Firefleck. Yeah. When did this happen? Firefleck would sit beside her in the wood stump seat. This has been a thing for a long time. StarClan isn't happy. The woman would suddenly perk. No one had said StarClan in a long while. I bet they aren't. It's breaking code. Hasn't Sparrow Star broken code for a long time now? Firefleck would nod. She has. StarClan sort of abandoned all the clans for a bit. See what they would do. Looked to her with a face she'd not seen before. A mixture of oops and something like a screw-up. So, they will be stepping in and fixing the problems. I was told to... He'd suddenly grow shadowed and hang his head. Firefleck? Duststripe asked, touching his arm. The young male would pop back to life. What? Are you okay? She'd asked, looking concerned. Oh, yeah. Firefleck would suddenly stand and walk off, disappearing around a hut. Duststripe had an odd feeling come over her. Heavy, depressive feel that she'd never felt before. Sparrow Star brushed against Starling Heart, her chest filled with happiness she could burst. This was a very happy day for both of them. They were oblivious of what they were doing in front of the clan, as if they cared. Sparrow Star would be led away from the clan by Starling Heart. After a bit, they would stop and give a look around. No one was there. When should we tell the clan? Sparrow Star asked, looking excitedly. I'm just so happy. Starling Heart was smiling from ear to ear. The healer would embrace his love. An expression of pain torment would suddenly appear. Eventually. Sparrow Star was about to pull away when the healer suddenly forced her to the ground. Sparrow Star was confused and conflicted at what was going on. She was fighting for her life suddenly. "It's for your own good," he mumbled. "It's for your own good. It's for your own good." Star felt her mouth get forced open by another set of hands. Through her wild hair she'd see a face she'd recognized. Choking down what she'd been forced to swallow, she'd feel her heart be torn into many pieces. Her gaze meeting the blonde-haired male with her love held her down. His face in a crazed, confused anger. "Why?" she'd asked him. "Just why?" "Blame StarClan," the two would reply in unison. "We are fighting back." Her lives left her, one by one. They had given her the strongest poison one could find. Star now standing in front of StarClan, all figures shimmering like moonlight, their faces gaunt and straight. "By the power of StarClan, Sparrow, you will go where you belong." Sparrow looked upset. "No! TigerClan!" "TigerClan," spoke a woman calmly, "is no more. May the sun star burn them without mercy." Sparrow would feel her hands be grasped. She'd see her two oldest kits, Troutgaze and Curlbird. "Come, Mother. We'll be happy there. StarClan promised. They can't lie, right?" Firefleck would move through the woods with quiet steps. He'd come upon a camp of loners and rogues living together. There was no leader among them. StarClan hissing in his ear. "This is your job. Bring them back and end the reign of the Sparrow. In the reign of the Black Fox." A quiet night as the clan fished for food or sheared tongues. Everyone unaware of what was happening outside the clan. Everyone except Duststripe. The air felt very heavy and uncomfortable. Things looked darker. More than once she felt like shadows had moved. All of the day felt very off. She'd suddenly see Firefleck. He looked normal again. Heading over to him, she'd say a greeting. "Good evening. Where have you been?" Firefleck's silver eyes would bore into hers. Suddenly it felt like the world was burning around her. Duststripe suddenly gasped, and she'd see Firefleck looking at her strangely. "You okay? You look ill." There would be yells of intruders. Everything went to chaos. A voice would enter Duststripe's head as she was suddenly clashing with an outsider.
"It all will end